Shalom. First, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone, from whom I learned this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 elect. I am Mayakala. And I came across this in one of my cabinets, and I decided that I would do a lesson on it, not to make this lesson about me, but to make it about, just to be in an effort to show how the enemy, our number one enemy according to Psalms 83, I believe it's verse 3, but to show how our enemy is just a thief, and he's coming to do nothing but steal and kill. I just wanted to show this is a product that, and you can probably recognize the bottle, but this is something that my family, on my mother's side, her being from Florida, that they would set out on the tables as they have a family reunion every year, and they put this item out just in remembrance of my grandfather, because he created the recipe for this particular item. And if you look at it, you can see that's the spelling. Not saying that he created this bottle or the product logo or anything, but he did create the recipe and had it stolen from him. And you can see my mother's or my grandfather's spelling of his last name, and you can see that the thief took the name and spelled it according to the way he wanted to spell it and put his name on it. But this indeed was created by my grandfather. And I just wanted to bring out a couple of verses, because as a youngster once, when I did find out about this and what my grandfather had created, the recipe that he had created for this item, and I couldn't understand why my mother or her side of the family chose not to do anything about it, or didn't do anything about it. But I was just too young to understand at that point that the money that it would take in order to litigate such a product against such a person at that time, it would be a big drawn out thing in an effort to try to drain finances. It will have to be in court for a long period of time to prove that this recipe had been stolen from him. And at the time, I couldn't understand it. I wanted the proceeds to go to the rightful owner. And I wanted us to be compensated for what had been taken from us. But as I've come into this truth, well before coming into the truth, I understood. But even after coming into truth, I get more understanding on what we were dealing with, and what type of there had been many Israelites in the past who have created many different items, had many different inventions taken away from them or stolen. And at one time, the Israelites in this country couldn't even obtain a patent for anything that they had invented or created. But I just have a couple verses that I wanted to bring out, and then that'll be the end of this. But I just wanted to show this item. And I believe the heir to this product right now is married to someone who used to be part of our government. I'm not sure if he is still in the government. John Kerry. His wife is the heir to this product at this time. And she inherited from her first husband. But the first verse that I wanted to bring out, because like I said, I was a bit angry about how this product had been taken from us, how this recipe had been taken from my family. And it was hard to understand why, like I said, why my family didn't do anything about it. But the first place that I want to go is to Psalm 73. In verse 3, it says, "For I was envious of the foolish being is the Edomite, or the heathen, so-called white man who had taken this product." All right. It says, "For I was envious of the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked." And that's what would constantly be on my mind, that these people, because they had stolen a product, stolen my grandfather's recipe, that they were prospering off of this item. They simply switched the name, put their name on it, and made it theirs. And look at what I don't know exactly what it's worth, because I didn't even want to go and look and see what it's worth at this time. But I know it's very prosperous because the item is still being sold. It's a very big item. All right. But after coming into the truth and getting an understanding that they couldn't compensate me for it, even I wouldn't even want the compensation. I wouldn't want the proceeds from this, because the inheritance that's promised to us in the kingdom is far greater, and to be able to not only just possess the riches that came from this product, but I pray to have even more, to have possession of the ones who stole this item. And the scripture tells us that we pray for that, we can have possession of the ones who stole from us, who had taken from the Israelites, the wicked. So, like I said, at first feeling anger, but now better understanding, understanding that it's part of the curses. All right, understanding that these things are part of the curses, like I said, that we suffer from. All right, so after getting that understanding, I'm delighted at this. So I'm delighted at the fact that I don't have to be angry at not receiving these proceeds, but being able to be in a position to possess the ones who did steal this product. I wanted to go over to John chapter 10 and verse 10. Because like I said, they did indeed steal this item. So like I'm just waiting for my phone to pick up the blue letter. All right. And this is John chapter 10 and verse 10. And this is in the red letter, so this would be Yahushua speaking. It says, "The thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. It says, I come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. They being the Israelites. And that's indeed what the enemy, what the wicked had done. They came to steal, and they stole this recipe and prospered from it. All right, and we can have the Israelites can have life more abundantly in the kingdom that's to come. So the riches that they get on this in this kingdom, the wicked get their riches right here in this kingdom, and their kingdom is coming to an end. So any type of lawsuit that which could have my family could have reversed and gained the riches, it wouldn't even be worth it. All right, because there's something that's far more greater that's promised to the Israelites, and that is why I'm able to delight in knowing that there's no need to be envious of the foolish, and no need to worry, because this is just the nature of the wicked. They come not but to steal and to kill. All right. So that's why I delight in knowing what they have done and knowing what is to come in the kingdom that's to come. I want to go over to Psalms chapter 2, verse 8. And it reads, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So that is what I pray for. And I know this isn't just speaking only for a specific or individual family who might have stolen from the Israelites, but this is also this is speaking about a whole nation, and not only just a nation of the Edomites, but all the heathen. All right, so that's the riches that I look for in the kingdom that's to come, to have possession of these wicked heathen, these so-called, and in this instance, it is the Edomites, the so-called white man, who stole from my family and stole many inventions. So like I said, I didn't want to make this about me or just about my family, but they stole many inventions from the Israelites, taking many things that the Israelites created and never got credit for. All right. And I'd have just a few more that I wanted to bring out, because this is, while we suffer from the curses here in this kingdom, and the kingdom that's to come, we'll get those riches back, and even more than anything in this earth that could have rewarded us in their wicked court system. All right. I want to go over to Psalm 72. And you can see the heading on this particular book, Psalm 72. It says, the reign of the righteous king. And I want to go down to verse 7, and it says, in his days shall the righteous flourish, and abundance of peace, so long as the moon endureth. He shall have dominion also from sea to sea, and from the river unto the ends of the earth. All right. So it's far more greater in what's to come to the Israelites in the kingdom to come than to be angered or be worried or be concerned about what the heathen, the Edomites have done in this kingdom. All right, because it's going to equal out. It's going to be a balance for all the wickedness that they have done in this kingdom. In the kingdom that's to come, that will endure forever, it's all going to work out. It's going to be a fair balance, because that's what the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai is about. He's about a fair and righteous balance. All right, because if it to be one-sided, for them, Edomites or the heathen to be in charge of this kingdom and reap all the benefits from this kingdom that they have here on this earth, and then for them to go and into the kingdoms to come and share in those riches and share in the inheritance of the Israelites, that would be a false balance. And the Lord is not in a false balance is an abomination to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So it would be a false balance. All right, so like I said, it's all going to balance out. And speaking of that, I want to go to Proverbs verse 11, because it talks just about that false balance. It says, Proverbs 11 verse 1 says, a false balance is abomination to the Lord Yahweh, but a just weight is his delight. All right, and for the heathen to think that he can reap the benefits of this kingdom and then also come into the kingdom to come and share in the inheritance of the Israelite, that would be a false balance, and that's an abomination to the Lord Yahweh. It's not going to be that way. All right, so they need to enjoy what's coming, what they have in their kingdom right now, because this kingdom is coming to a close, and it's coming to a close very quickly. We can see all types of things that are happening, and they're happening fast. A lot of the prophecies are coming into fruition. All right, and we can see that this kingdom is starting to take a nosedive. It's coming to an end. All right, and in the kingdom that's to come, there's going to be a different rulership. It's going to be the rulership of the Israelites. All right, I want to go to Revelation chapter 2. Salaki, if I said Revelations, it's Revelation. Revelation chapter 2. And I want to go down to verse 27. It says, and he shall rule them. And I'll start at 26. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. And this is Lord Yahweh speaking here. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. So Shalakia, this is Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, and I will give him the morning star. It says, he that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. And I'll read it in the NLT. Revelation chapter 2 verse 26 says, to all who are victorious, who obey me to the very end, to them I will give authority over all the nations. They will rule the nations with an iron rod and smash them like clay pots. They will have the same authority I received from my Father, and I will also give them the morning star. Anyone with ears to hear must listen to the Spirit and understand what he is saying to the churches. All right? So this is a promise that has been given to the Israelites of what's to come in the kingdom. We're going to rule over our enemies. All right? And we're going to rule them because it is a righteous balance. They're ruling in this kingdom, and the Israelites will rule in the kingdom that's to come, that's going to reign forever. And it's going to be right here on this earth. All right? And I just have one more verse that I want to bring out, because they think that they have a claim to that promise that's been given to the Israelites, but they have no claim on it. All right, they think they deserve to be able to rule both in this kingdom and in the kingdom to come, and That just doesn't make sense. I want to go to Jeremiah chapter 49. And in verse 12 it says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have assuredly drunken." So as we can see, even right now, the curses are starting to turn. All right, they're not only going to be on the Israelites, but they're starting to be on the heathen. All right, and in the kingdom to come, they are going to suffer these curses. All right, it says, "And art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished?" So does the heathen and Edomites in particular, do they think that they can rule in this kingdom and rule in the kingdom that's to come and get away scot-free with all the atrocities that they have committed in this kingdom, with all the theft, all the killing or murder, should I say, that they committed in this kingdom, and they think they can go into a kingdom that's to come and share in the Israelites' inheritance? No, they can't do that. All right, it says, "Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it." So for all the things that you've committed, all the crimes that you've committed, all the atrocities that you've committed and done to the Israelites, you're going to be punished. All right, you're going to be punished for the things that you've done in this kingdom, in your kingdom, in the kingdom to come. All right, so you're not going to go unpunished, even though it seems like you're going to get away with it. And you have a lot of people who want to say that the heathen also is going to share in the kingdom and reap the benefits of what's promised to the Israelites. That's not true. That's a lie. All right, they're not going to share in that inheritance. All right, because they're not going to go unpunished. They're going to be punished in the kingdom for the things that they've done in this kingdom. All right, and I didn't want to go too long on this, but I pray that this has been edifying to the listener. All right, and I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakadash, Shalom.